Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Cincinnati Bengals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready? 180.
It's our time. It's our time.
Check. Great.
On 1st and 10, Newton. He goes full extension, and he... He's got it.
Complete to John Ross. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 33-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now Joe Mixon. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Throwing is Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Newton to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 40.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Lions' 37-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
And let's pin the mirrors back.
Here's Newton. Going deep downfield for Ross. And this is caught. It's a gain of 35. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Well, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
Here's a run with Mixon into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. They'll give it to him up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked them, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 23-yard line.
Set! 250! 57, come on! He's tired of you! He's tired of us!
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
First down, Detroit.
Set! 260! All right, here we go. Let's go, B, let's go!
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. Green brings it in. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Mixon. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 36, Newton. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
A gain of 12.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run here with Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Mixon with a first down carry. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the... ground and brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Newton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Newton. He's got his man, Boyd. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Mike, that's it. Ready, Mike, 4. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Gun.
A shotgun snap for Newton. He completes it to Boyd. That one goes for 24 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Elliott Good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Newton. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Ross on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have...
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 30, past the 20, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 83 yards. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Stanford. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much. Playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sail, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. To throw is Newton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Hey, 22! Blue draw, focus. Hey, switch gears. Check.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, he completes it to Jones. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Ready? 180!
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that will get him one closer.
Lions 7.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up the lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead
and look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Darius Slay with a pick, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He wants it all for the end zone. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 4 down.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
54. You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
From the gun, Newton dancing to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
But no, it takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, Mixon, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Jones has it. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Blue 60. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Throwing again is Stafford. His throw incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. The Lions on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
He's checking. Crash. Check.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Complete to Jones. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd and goal. Stafford looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
They come out here in the eye. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Mixon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the run, it's Mixon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Here we go. 180. Go. Go. Grab.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And Eifert has it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Again, it's Mixon. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.